So, welcome Artfreak, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks a lot.
So, tell us about yourself. How did you started this?
Well, when I was young, I thought of art as a normal job. I would do in my free time. So, like it was around first class when I thought that I should try more of many like I should go and explore more things in art. So I remember there was an incident when I was in first class and I drew a normal rose, and my teacher, she praised me a lot, and then she asked me to draw another rose, and that she told me to make one more for the class, and she would put it on the bulletin board. So that was the day when I first thought that I like art and others like it as well. Um, so yeah, and by next year, I started drawing more types of things like cartoons, and I used to watch Tom and Jerry a lot in those days.
Yeah,
So
Tom and Jerry, like they inspire many artists to draw doodles.
yeah,
Continue,
yeah,
sorry.
mhm. And Tom and Jerry and even Ben 10 and a few anime like Dragon Ball Z. So I thought, these the characters in those drawings are like in those shows are very detailed. So
Hmm.
when you draw such a character, you really get to bring out different types of skills and try test your skills in
Yeah.
different ways. So I started drawing those. I would draw Jerry and Tom repeatedly, and yeah, many times I remember I would do something wrong with the eyes, or I would distort the nose or something. But yeah, in the by next year, I got kind of perfect in copying characters and all.
Hmm.
That
Every artist, like, sorry to interrupt, but like
Mhm.
every artist who just started, they just start by copying other artists.
Those days, there was nothing like smartphones or
Hmm.
social media. So just like most artists of my age, they would have started everything on their own. Like no one had any inspiration or something like we have now. So 13, 14-year-old artists today, they have smartphones already.
Like me.
Resources today, and even if you try to be independent, you in the end, you end up getting some inspiration from someone else. So, but in when I started art, there was nothing like that because we were all alone, and you
True,
know
very
all,
true.
all we had was physical tools and all. Nothing, phone wasn't even a thing. Like even parents, they have used to have some primitive. So yeah, that's how we started because we had real life conditions how normal artists should have. Like today, there's like hundreds of resources and all. You have digital art and you know physical art. Even in physical art, you already have a lot of different types of art supplies like alcohol
Like
mark.
Mal.
And as soon as this alcohol markers came in market, everything changed. And this all happened like in last 2 to 3 years only because before that,
After COVID,
yeah, yeah. Mostly like even before COVID, it was popular, but not so much.
not so much. So, so
Yeah.
Aditya, I was scrolling. So I can call you Aditya or Art Freak.
Anything you'd like, maybe Aditya.
So your name is Aditya Aman.
Yes. No, Aman is like my nickname. So I just
Okay.
put them together in my.
So I am now scrolling through your profile, and I am
Mhm.
seeing you draw doodles also.
Mhm.
You draw cartoon characters also, and also now you have started like landscape, and I like this Ghibli one, Ghibli
Oh yeah.
illustration. This is
Yeah.
masterpiece. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
And
Thanks a
another
lot.
one is like the Naruto one and all. Like you're
Yeah.
also good at anime, doodles, cartoon. This is like a big deal for a lot of artists. And also you do realism. That's a
Yeah.
big deal, bro. And do you draw digital?
Digital, I used to draw earlier, on phone, but now I do have an iPad. But I did begin one digital doodle, but then I left it soon. So I'll continue it sometime later because it's not very easy to spend
Do you
long time.
use like Procreate or what software?
I don't remember, but it's definitely not Procreate. Something like Artbook or some. Yeah, I guess
So
it's.
if I give you suggestion, you should use IBIS Paint, because a
Yeah,
lot of Indian artists especially, because we, as you know, we as students can't even buy Procreate as like that, and the shit
yeah,
to ask the parents, say I want to buy a 900 rupees app just to draw shit on screen. They will
yeah.
laugh on face.
They won't. They don't even consider it as
Art.
thing. Hmm.
Yeah, they don't consider it as art. But now, as you see, sorry, it's like self promotion, but as I drew this
Hmm.
Parshura illustration like
Hmm.
yesterday,
Yeah.
actually my parents appreciated it.
Yeah, actually, they did come out like really well.
Now,
Different.
a burning question: does your
Yeah.
parents know you are an this big artist? Do they know this following of yours?
See, when I draw, I don't really show it to people, but in the end, they all know that I have an Instagram and I have around 12,000 followers, but they don't, really, I should say, appreciate or care about it because
Oh
in art,
man, this sucks.
art is still not so popular in our society as a career or something.
It will be because of our podcast and the like
It is,
many
yeah,
like art community is now like we can say is now woke community, like we can say it's woke now.
yeah.
So art community nowadays is like if you even copy a art, there will be a three or more videos on you.
Mhm.
Like I don't want to say name, but this artist literally just like inspired by someone, and if you don't give credits to him, he's done.
Yeah, that's
Either
true.
his account will be blocked, his reach will be lost, or you have
Mhm.
to start from scratch again.
Yeah, that's true. It's a bit hard also and to manage everything all.
So Art Freak, tell us about yourself. Like,
Mm,
what are your hobbies and all?
to be honest, I don't really have a hobby apart from art because I wasn't good at sports either or
Same.
anything. A little bit at studies, but by time even that went out, and my only hobby is art. Or sometimes I like listening music.
So your drawing is so good. You're you're like
And
very like mature artist, and you should start a YouTube channel.
yes, I've been thinking about that, but it takes a lot of something like consistency and a, a long range of time when you don't have any disturbances or
So you got
some.
an iPad, Bruda.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got an iPad. Just
yeah.
I
Actually,
know it's hard, editing and all is hard, but when I started YouTube, it was very hard for me. But my dad helped me a lot in YouTube journey. How to get ideas for drawing? How do you get
well,
so much ideas? Because
it,
Art Freak, as I see your profile, there
mhm,
are a lot of like you drew Angelina Jolie, some commissions, then actresses, Ghibli illustrations, cartoon characters, doodles,
mhm,
anime, and even some landscape portraits. Man, this is really tough. And even Pokemons.
mhm. Yeah,
Bro, this
actually,
is tough.
in most cases, I simply draw things that I see around myself or things that I get reminded of on suddenly. Like for when I was drawing portraits lately, these were mostly out of requests and all. Like when I first drew a friend, then I thought I should do a celebrity, so I drew Billie Eilish. Then my friend requested me to draw something for his, girlfriend, so I drew her as well. Then
Do
again,
you?
I.
So
Mhm.
you are like multi-medium artist. Am
Yes,
I true?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So in the start, I am seeing your profile. You drew mostly like cartoon characters and a little bit realism.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly you switch to doodle after a lot of drawings. Before you were drawing Gox characters, am I right?
Yes, yes.
How this from drawing Gox characters and doodles you started drawing so much good artworks? This is a
Um,
big deal.
yes, actually, that when when you keep on drawing the same things, in the end, you kind of get an art block, like what to draw next or not. And in most cases, the thing was, when I kept drawing the same things, my reach would, become stagnant and there would be no growth. So I thought of trying, new things. Like after doodles, I try to switching to a different kind of artwork. So it's like after doodle, I would draw some characters, and then I draw some, landscapes. I would say it's rather rare. Like, yeah, I would draw them like once a month or something. But mostly I draw doodles. Then I switch with between characters and then sometimes anime. And lately I've been also doing some portraits and all.
Hmm.
And as for inspiration, I mostly, doodles. For them you don't need an inspiration because you could simply pick up things from your previous doodles and then put them together.
Very
But
true. Not bad. You should give credits, but
yeah.
now I'm gonna say something controversial.
Mhm.
There we have like our group of Indian friends, right? Doodle community. Curious because do copics matter?
Well, actually, I don't think it really matters. And like even some people say, doesn't the brand does not matter. You should have a brush pen. That's enough. Like something, if you have a hose, then you have everything. But so far I haven't used brush pens. I won't say yes. It's like I haven't used brush pens at all because I did have a set of 12 Copics. They did work like really good. I would say the best, but nothing like it would limit my art if I don't have. So I've drawn with a few Copics and I have drawn with a few normal brush pens, but alcohol based, but they were not Copic as well. So I didn't really see a big deal of difference when I drew with normal bullet tip brush alcohol pens markers like touch marks, and that's what I use most of the time. So far I haven't felt anything like I should have this or extra set of markers that I've just picked. When COVID started, or maybe the
Oops,
second.
my mic gone. Sorry. So COVID started, then it was like toxic back then. Community
Mhm.
became toxic after COVID. Do you agree?
Mm. Yes, that's true. Like when COVID came, the Instagram algorithm changed very drastically. So by time people started, you know some people grew very well and some didn't, and the whole change of algorithm, it caused a lot of kind of controversies among artists. Like,
By me in touch like past 3 years now. It's
mhm.
been 3 years we are in touch. And as I see your profile, sometimes it's 9,000 followers, sometimes it's suddenly 13k, 14k, 11k, and 12k. Why did your followers so change frequently?
Well, you see, when I was like 3 years ago, when I had just started doodling, like officially doodling in Gox type of and do when I started doodling and started doing Gox like characters and all, I kind of officially entered this community somewhere around August in 2019 or maybe 18. So back then I had around 1500 followers or maybe 100 or 1000 followers. So I did not have really a lot to start with, but I would see others growing so fast, and I thought that why is it so? Why am I not growing as fast as them? So when I talk to a lot of artists, everyone would say, just keep posting regularly and all. So
That's a scam. I am telling you, is a feed. As I started my doodle art, I was just drawing doodles, and it get me 1,000 followers. It's true, but if you continuously do doodle arts, then you can get an art block.
yeah,
And I'm
that
telling you, brother, have you ever attempted like any challenges like what we call Inktober and all?
actually I did start Inktober in like 2 years ago, maybe in 2019. But it gets really difficult to draw every day, and the best thing is to draw at your own pace. And my pace is definitely not about drawing every day. I would simply draw whenever I feel like. So it took like around a week or something, and I quit Inktober. I drew a few drawings, and since they were all theme based, so I couldn't bring my real skills out very well. So I left as soon as I began.
Hmm. So for me, Inktober helped me because at that time before Inktober,
Mhm.
I discussed with you I have a severe art block. I had
Yeah.
no idea what to draw, and
Mhm.
and after
Yeah,
and
actually, things work out differently for different people. Like, I'm not a very frequent, I don't draw very frequently, but like, I don't really like to do things in order. I just draw whenever I feel like. So that's the main reason I didn't, I really like Inktober for me.
and as I knew you have like draw doodles and cartoons very well. And a big question, as we
Mhm.
go through your profile, there is a
Mhm.
lot of like we can say commissions and mainly brand promotions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like as I see, i- if you don't mind, if it can like make your brand like relationships like bad, then can I ask you this? But
Yeah, you.
did Karin give you markers? Karin markers? Did they give you your free?
Yeah, that was for free. Maybe they just wanted me to try out their markers.
Damn. How would they cost, by the way?
Well, in India, I don't think the whole box is available, but maybe if you buy in sets
Oh
and
damn. Oh damn, bro.
yeah.
This Carin brush marker, the whole set is about 10,400. Oh
So
god. And the smallest box is 4,600.
that's just like Copics, the first smallest box of 12 markers. It costs around 4,300.
Oh my god. That's a big deal, by the way.
Well, actually, they are water-based markers, and I guess they are one of the best ones in market in like water-based category. That's why they are expensive, I guess.
And can we like it's a personal question and it may help artists. Can we
Mhm.
draw like as you draw this actress?
Mhm.
You drew this. I don't want to say the name. Sorry. Did you draw it with like what we say alcohol based markers?
Well, is it a portrait?
Yeah, it is a portrait.
So in most cases, I simply lay down flat colors with alcohol markers, and I use the color pencils for giving it depth and highlights.
So bro, do you use Ohuhu brush deep markers or which
No,
one?
I use touch markers, bullet tip
Touch
one.
cool or touch?
Mm, touch
The
cool,
box
like.
one. A tip about like you get markers for like promotion, like you get commissions. How to get like all these commissions and all.
Missions, I'd say you just need to, keep contact with people, like normal people, as friends and all. As long as they keep watching your stories, they'll surely, feel like asking out how do you draw, and eventually they will come up and ask buying some pieces from you. So a lot of my commissions were like from my own friends. or my own friends living outside India. So, and as for brand promotions, it's mostly that you just have to follow a few brands, and if they and if just you just need to see if they do like they do give other artists a chance to test out their product. So in most cases, I first saw that if whether these brands really give out products to try out or not. So when I confirmed it, I just went on asking them about whether they'd like me to test out their products. So they would see my own artworks and see if I'm eligible for it or not. So yeah, that's the thing that happens in most cases.
So the next question is, how you manage studies and art thing?
Yeah, that is actually uh, in India. It's like really hard to.
So our next question is, how you manage studies and art?
Well, for a normal Indian, it would seem that it's really hard. But if you have something as a hobby, then it's not so. You just have to find out some time. Like everyone does have a little bit of time apart from study. But people who are good at studies, they would use it for studies again. But I knew I wasn't something like extraordinary in studies, so I thought the extra time I should try drawing as much as possible. So, but for most people like aren't really good at time management, I would say like in your free time, like most people waste it watching videos on YouTube. So why not simply use it for art? That's just easy.
Many artists who think they have no idea what to draw. Even like our Indian sorry, but we have a group Indian artists. Many of the artists like quit, literally saying that we have no idea what to draw.
Yes, that's true. Actually, a lot of artists have been quitting art, recently. Some due to some, studies and all. But it's not really that as hard as people think. In most cases, if you are a good student, you'll surely find time to study apart from other things. But if you are not, so good, like it's not worth it, spending extra time on studies. Like in my case that was true. Like I knew if I spend, it doesn't matter if I spend more or less time on studies. Like what my you only do things at your own capacity. You can't go beyond that. In most cases.
I got a damn 2 minutes out. It's gonna be big deal. So according to me, in India, managing both art and studies is quite a big deal.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
I can say कुछ भी होगा पूरा दिन ड्राइंग करता रहे इसके कारण मार्क्स कम आए.
Mhm.
That's the shit.
Yeah,
So
actually, a lot of artists to to keep their art hidden from people.
so I'm gonna show you this. This artist, sorry, we can say this in sorry, it's meaningless now. Cut, ये भी cut हो जाएगा. So our next question is, how you improve art so well?
Well, actually, this improvement mostly comes from trying different types of art. Like I would draw the landscapes, then I would draw some animation scenes and all. Then I would draw some characters, and I would draw doodles, and I would keep switching between different types of art. So that brings out your skill really well.
And another question is, how you become so like improved so well and become so good at doodle art? And apart from that, does your parents support you? Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello, are you on call?
Yeah. No, it's okay. So yes, actually, uh, just a minute.
All right, all right.
Yeah, can you repeat the question, please?
Okay. Does your parents support you?
Well, it's like ambiguous. In most cases, they do, and sometimes they don't. But as a career, no one like just like most people, they won't support it as a career.
They won't. The first things they will say is do it part time.
Yeah, that's true. Like you know, in a country like India, it's actually not so feasible to take art as a career. Like it has only started to become easier now.
Is there any guy who supported you with your art journey?
Mm, yes, I guess. Yeah, there was the friend from USA. There was a time when I was about to quit art because my colors were about to finish. So I just put
Bro,
it
buy a
in
new
my.
one.
Mhm.
Buy a new
So
one.
I put it in my story that I would soon have to quit because I don't have colors now. So he asked me to not quit and all, and later he even sent me a set of colors to continue my journey. So that was
That's
a
so
very
cool, bro.
uh, you know
For me, I
easier.
started art in if you know,
Mm,
as per a teenager, I think I saw on like there was no Instagram for me at that time. But
mhm,
as I came to Instagram, before that, I thought you can see the digital illustrations. I thought they were made on canvas, and that shit was so like I thought I am trash. I can draw good shit, and at
mhm,
that time, especially I'm gonna mention this. My school art teacher helped me a lot, and at that
mhm.
time I had like a dream to draw like him, like what we say, uh, the watercolor and thing.
Uh,
He acrylic color and all he used to draw. He still draw that, and he helped me a lot.
mhm. Yeah,
And
actually, also got a little bit of inspiration from my own art teacher. But in school, they don't really teach different types of art style. It's mostly landscapes and life studies.
yeah, but my I can say in my thing he helped me to learn like realism. I'm good at
Mhm,
it because of him. I'm good at realism because of him. Graphite sketches, even
mhm,
cartoon illustrations. And I drew cartoon for almost like from I was from 2 years to now to like 2018. I drew cartoons,
mhm,
and to combine them in one piece, I was shocked. It can be so good. Like,
mhm.
and other question is struggles of being an artist in India.
Like the first thing that would come to most people's mind is about financial support, because the supplies in especially in our rural community, like alcohol markers have become like a must to survive in this community. So the since they come at high prices than normal art supplies, it's really hard to buy such art supplies over and over, and especially if you're not independent, it becomes even more hard. So the main problem is financial problems, and otherwise it's mostly like matters like whether your parents or your people around you they support it or not.
Does your parents support you
Yeah,
in
actually.
matter of markers and all?
So far I haven't really bought markers from their money, and yeah, because initially I like my first set of markers I bought it from my own savings, and after that I
Same.
got commissions and all, and that's how I kept buying more and more things. So I don't really know if I like ask them for money for markers, they would agree or not.
So now I'm gonna reveal a bad truth now.
Mhm.
After Inktober, I had no like what we say ink pens to ink, and I drew with gel pens and all. And at that time, you can see the amount of digital illustration is double. And after
Yeah.
that, you see I had like made a song for a guy.
Mhm.
And after that, because of the commission, I bought I bought the Sakura Pigma pens.
Yeah, yeah.
And because of commissions at right time, right commission helps a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Like, when you need something and you get a commission, it's like a something like a
Sone pe
blessing.
suhaga.
Yeah.
And another one is another thing I want to discuss is in
Mhm.
India, people don't think art as like a career option.
Yeah,
They
that's
think yeah,
actually.
like one of my how to say, he said that's the shit. Art can also earn you money. People don't understand that.
Yeah, actually, well, the main problem is because our society is already, caught up with many more problems. So art doesn't really seem like something that can help people right now. Like if you talk about being a doctor or an engineer, like we still
You
need.
are doctor, bro.
Yeah, like but generally if I speak, things like doctors and engineers or lawyers, these are things that we require a lot more, like in coming future. But and since these are related with basic necessities of life, so their importance grows like a really fast rate. But as for art, people no longer know, like they don't yet see it as something that can help them in future or something. So it's more like isolated community of artists who just are hoping that someday society will accept them as a part of society.
Bitter truth, bro.
Mhm.
भाई तुमने सब कुछ बोल दिया.
Like we
अब
can't.
पॉडकास्ट में बात करने के लिए कुछ है ही नहीं.
uh,
ये बात तूने जो कही है ना, as you said, sorry for foreigners listening to podcast. So this is the thing about India and
Mhm.
about many countries actually,
Yeah.
but I can say most of the colonized country actually, I am saying colonized countries, they have a mindset of to study and get a job.
Yeah.
Nothing about take risk, nothing about art.
Yeah.
And
Actually.
it's not about just art. Even if you start like your own business and all, people get
Mhm.
scared. They
Yeah.
think they say it's not gonna work. It's not
Mhm.
gonna work, dude. Stop
Mhm.
this shit. Get a job. Get a good life.
Yeah. Actually, that has a lot to do with the present situation of people. Like a big part of our society is still struggling with basic necessities. So these things don't really seem like a good idea. Like if you go and sell your artwork, it's not going to help anyone right now, apart from making a good aesthetic look for your own. But if you go out and sell some medicine, it's definitely going to help a lot of people in a country like India. And there's a lot of things. And even for businesses, like people don't really give a big importance to ideas right now, because people are still uh, doing
Yes,
caught up
their
with the
mind
base.
is still colonized. People need to
Yeah,
like
that's true.
decolonize. They need to decolonize from it.
Yeah, that's true. Like
Because the country itself, like the European countries especially, you can see the inventor of doodling, Wax.
yeah, yeah.
His
He-
parents supported him. As you
Mhm.
can see, Wax has grown a lot. He's
Yeah,
now like
actually, maybe
like
for countries like for rich countries and developed ones, it's more like they have a good environment for doing new things. Like
they are
parents,
no.
they do have a lot of
I
money
can
to sponsor their children for different things, unlike
no. The
India.
thing is, they are also struggling for money. We are also struggling for money.
Hmm.
Both both European countries and Asian countries have same shit. But the thing is, they they think more about art.
Hmm.
They are more practical ones than us.
Hmm. That's That's true, but in the end, this thing still comes up again. Like in most European countries or even Americas, poverty or something, it's not so prevalent, and even financial problems aren't that adverse as in India. So they don't really think a lot before doing anything. They aren't preoccupied by basic things. So they do have open mind for different kind of things. That's like basic.
And the second biggest thing is after COVID, people are thinking YouTube as an option for career,
Mhm.
artist and podcast also. I am starting a new podcast, by the way. I'm not professional. Sorry, it might be cringe. Many people find this podcast cringe, but the shit we say is true. It's gonna help people
Yeah,
because we are artist for
really.
another artist
Mhm.
and artist for artist. Self
Maybe
promotion.
maybe someone's story can be helpful for someone else. This it,
So true.
it really helps a lot.
And of course, as if any Indian artist is listening to this, it's
Mhm.
relatable,
Mhm.
very much relatable.
Most of my stories are like typical things about families in India. Most of us are same in this in this aspect.
And today, even if like we can say, if we draw a Indian figure, as you know, I drew Parsuram here. I get
Mhm.
300 hate comments, and now it's only 12 or 15 comments now. I deleted all of them.
Maybe they were like
Hardly,
spam.
nah, not 300, almost 100 comments I deleted yesterday night.
Mhm.
Only a few people comment good,
Mhm.
and big
Well,
artists
actually, we
actually
shouldn't.
comment. Yeah, yeah, continue, bro. Sorry.
Actually, I don't think that you should delete or remove comments, because when you do something like in large number, Instagram counts it as spamming, and it will eventually reduce our own reach. So just let things be how they are. Yeah.
But I don't know. But if they say shit about our God, I feel curious.
Oh, well,
Even
if
you, it's
Mhm.
good for you that you drew like Indian gods. I know, as I remember, you drew Krishna.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I read.
You get zero hate comments. But as I remember, that had one comment which we troll a lot,
Mhm.
and eventually that guy deleted the comment.
Yeah, yeah,
And this thing for sure, I'm gonna tell you, if any guy on your art, if they roast you, don't take it seriously.
yeah.
Make good
Actually,
art friends and roast them in comments.
yeah, yeah. Actually,
Don't
I
take any
I
shit
don't
seriously.
take anyone seriously right now, because that would be like allowing someone else to control myself, my own feelings. So that's kind of useless to give a damn about what others say about you.
Don't take any shit. Just do your own shit. I am gonna tell you. If a guy comes to you, like your friend comes to you and say, क्या करेगा ये सब draw करके? And even when you give, I can tell you, you might experience it. When you
Mhm.
have just started, Aditya, when you just started your art, there must be some friend that came, क्या करेगा ये सब, ये cartoon दौड़ के क्या होगा? Draw करके
Mhm.
क्या होगा? And now when you are grow, they come to you and say, yeah, you draw good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a fact.
yeah. That's true.
I
Like,
can guarantee you the same guy would come to you.
mhm.
This shit happens very frequently.
Yeah, especially in India, because most people think they don't really take art seriously, or they don't just take it as something that has potential for men, great things.
And another question, I'm saying this. Can you
Mhm.
give us few tips about? I can say you drew a zombie, and
Mhm.
even Gravity Falls and Pikachu. We can see the foreground and background both are like in vibrant colors. How you do that?
Well,
It,
actually,
it's
you
like a very much sketchy art. It's sketchy.
Mhm.
The paint on
Yeah.
the background.
Uh-huh. Actually, you see, like in as for this zombie one, you just have to think of a color that contrasting in respect with the foreground. Like here, the green color. If I would use red color or something, it would, red is kind of synonymous with the brown color coat of this zombie.
Hmm.
And if I go with green, it's already there in its
And
face. Yeah.
I
So I
said,
thought, yellow is still kind of, it's already a bright color and it's not used anywhere. So that it would make a really good scene. Actually, this one I simply copied from somewhere, like even the back part.
you give credits to him, bro.
But yeah, that's just case in most of my drawings. Like if you see,
Yeah,
mm,
yeah, yeah. You
yeah,
give
the next
credit.
even universe. Yeah, so if you see, there's nowhere yellow or red inside of the character except the star. Yeah. So and the yellow inside the character, it occupies a really less space to not big enough to make a difference. So I simply use yellow color in the background to make it
And
pop out.
yeah, that's good. And I want to give you a tip.
Mhm.
You have now started digital art officially.
Yeah.
So now you have started. So now don't start with like just now draw Gox characters,
Mhm.
for instance. Then you get the idea about the function, the how to use the functions of the app.
Mhm.
Then you gradually move to like designical portraits as you did.
Yeah, yeah.
You did like one design, if I remember. Yeah, yeah, you drew it.
Yeah, that I simply copied from him, but yeah, I drew it in myself in Huion at Sketch.
You use sketches like less brushes. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, it's like totally similar to Procreate.
Procreate.
It's like a
So
knockoff.
copy version of Procreate.
Yeah.
Use IBIS Paint. It's a lot good. Wide range of brushes.
Yeah.
And can you give me tip about you drew this railway station? I remember.
Yeah, that was a clock tower, I guess.
Ha ha ha. Clock tower.
Yeah,
Gunpowder.
actually, I just drew this to get featured in the page, of my city. If you see, I've tagged a few pages. So,
Ludhiana.
it's actually a landmark clock tower in my city, and it's really old, right from the colonial times. So it's a iconic landmark. So I simply drew it and tagged them, so they would see and repost it, or give me more reach.
And one thing I like about you is when you started, you had like 17K follower at one time.
17K?
No, no, I think 11K. I remember 11, 13K.
No, actually, this right now 12.4K is the highest I've ever reached.
And at one time, it like gradually moves to 11K. I remember we talk about it.
Yeah, actually, yes. It was around maybe 11.3K or something, and
It was
11.5.
very low at that time.
Yeah. So it got reduced by like a few hundred.
Sorry, sorry, sorry. And bro,
Yeah.
as we move to profile of yours, the
Mhm.
doodles have more like than the usual character ones. Is that true?
Yes, actually, maybe because I don't really know the exact answer, because doodles like if there would be a reason, I would say it's because our community is known as doodle community,
Hmm.
so maybe it gets more reach than my usual drawings. And most of my followers, they came, like initially I got them when I was a doodle artist, and like not exactly something like realism or portrait based artist. So if you see, I drew the dragon like character recently. It did
Hmm.
not
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of, but the doodle, it really got a lot of like. And the cartoon characters too, now these days they don't get a lot of like, but when I draw
The era is
something
finished.
trending.
That like from 2016 onwards, That was like an era of cartoonism on Instagram. But now nobody cares about it. People like the now era is of anime. Am I right?
Yeah, that's true. Like I remember I started drawing a few Demon Slayer.
Tanjiro maybe, yeah. You drew
If
Tanjiro.
you remember, Figo Doodle, he suggested me to, draw these characters, and I I thought of giving a try, and the first post I did.
Yeah. He is in our group, I remember.
Mhm. So the first
Good guy, good guy.
that post blew up with likes, like compared to my previous post, 100 more likes nearly. So I thought of drawing a few more, and I did really gain a lot from those drawings.
So, bro, as I for this podcast, I go through all of the profiles and see all the doodles. But when I see one of your doodles, it's actually different from Gox, Barracuda, and all. If you see other doodlers, it's the mixture of all of them. But yours is like inspired by them, but a little bit different from them. Can you tell us how you develop this type of doodles? You like draw the sketch very like what we say, बहुत ध्यान से बनाया है sketch.
Actually, I don't really do some pre-sketching or anything. I simply start, drawing it with fine liners, and
You start with fine liners.
yeah, because
Bro, you should tell this. You should tell me first in the podcast. People will like, oh man, this big artist don't use sketches. Even Nobita, am I true? Am I right? The Ghibli one, did you use sketch in them?
The Ghibli one, yes, I guess I did. Yeah, for portraits and characters, I do a bit of pre-sketching, like not so well defined. I simply scribble some guidelines, more like not deep details for most like characters and all, or or like these Ghibli
It's
ones.
good to know you don't don't do sketches.
Like for doodles, I never use pre-sketching or something. I simply start off with fine liners.
Damn. I will give this a title to get more views.
Yeah.
And you now did a collab with few of the artists, am I right?
Yes.
Which is your part in it?
The one with grey and yellow color.
Yes, it's similar to your style.
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah,
I
actually,
was
you can
confused.
my style is different from most, because you see my elements aren't very dense or overlapping.
And I can tell you, the reason why we confused this. The guy who edited it, I knew it must be SJ. He always gets bullied in group.
Actually, it was Lucifer.
Oh, Lucifer Soul Art. Yeah.
Mhm.
Every broke India doodler collab.
Most of us are, but like they were still from Mumbai and all. They do have a lot of access to our global
Good,
supplies,
like what we say, good supplies.
and also a good environment. Like a lot of doodlers are from Mumbai, and I live,
Especially like our bro, Kegs. Kegs is also from Mumbai.
and even others, they live mostly around Mumbai or Pune and all. I
So
live
as
here
I see,
North Ludhiana.
Ludhiana, yeah. There are a few guys from Punjab. They are great doodlers.
Yes, I guess.
Samarjot, Samarjot bhai.
And one more WHW something like that. He quit recently, I guess.
Yeah, that's why.
Or
It
that.
hurts to see great artists quitting. They got a lot of potential. Dear we are still trying to draw a simple face and eyes. Is it true that is it true that if we draw eyes, they can be like same? at
Hmm?
first try. If we draw a face at the
Mhm.
first try, the two eyes will not be same.
No, no. Actually, it's really hard because if you're not much into portraits, you definitely struggle. But someone who knows anatomy or something, like most people don't start right away with portraits, like whole faces. They practice eyes separately or the ratio of different body parts. Like for them, it would definitely be a lot easier. Like I've
That's
seen most
me.
people, they draw
But it's
some
not no, bro.
things
That's
or
me.
yeah. Like
So,
I, my case, I don't think I would draw them right in the first attempt.
so here you draw a Maleficent portrait.
Mhm.
I can tell you, you focused more on foreground than on background. Am I right?
Mhm.
The background you drew or it's edited?
The blue sky kind of thing, yes.
Yeah. You draw or
It,
edited it.
I drew it. I drew it.
So, sorry for my. I'm asking this question. It's not according to the questions. How do you draw those white lines and white dots?
I simply use the Uniball or yeah, I have Uniball, but some use that Sakura Pigma or something. The jelly roller white pens.
Ha ha ha! White jelly roll. Yeah.
So I simply like I draw the character first, and I draw the background with all the markers, and in the end I outline the main character with the highlighter, white
This one is
pen.
actually good for artists to get inspired, because if we study the anatomy and the foreground and background of it, one second,
Mhm.
I'll be back. Yeah, hello.
Hello.
I was saying that if you look at the like Maleficent, like Angelina Jolie, you like put the like hard work on the head and the black body of it and the neck thing.
Mhm.
So if I can, as per my knowledge, I can say you first drew like the base layer, then
Yeah.
you do the gray one, and then the black ones. Am I right?
Actually, in my I do have a black brush pen. It was from the Copics, or with brush pens, it's like really easy to make some different varying textures. So in the for the head and clothes, I simply uh, kind of use the brush tip of the markers to create a gradation kind of thing. So at some places it would be dark, and eventually it would fade out into white. So at first I simply use the black layer to make a good framework, and in the end I filled up those white spaces with light blue, like the lightest shade of blue available.
Turquoise color. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So when I did that, it kind of gave us a shiny appearance. So yeah, in real, so there are just two layers, black and
Thank you,
light.
thank you. It will be helpful for many artists.
Mhm.
That's a lot of thing. So, and another thing, how you drew these grasses?
In Ghibli Studio.
Yeah, yeah, in Ghibli,
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli.
Mhm. So actually, I first drew the characters, and I left the white space.
Is it
And
Toronto? Yeah, it's Toronto. My neighbor Toronto.
actually, I haven't actually seen this series. I just found this scene on Google, and I thought of drawing it.
Oh man, you should see this movie. It's actually a lot of like we can say a lot of inspiration in it.
Mhm.
Like at the time I was suffering from art block. I am saying suffering. At the time of October November this year, I saw Ghibli movies and a lot of anime at that time. That gave me a lot of like ideas and color contrast knowledge. If you want to be start with doodle art, you should get the knowledge about color contrast,
Yeah,
because the
yeah.
color of the cap will not be similar to be the color inside of it.
Yes, yes. That's true actually. Like, you know, from things around yourself, you can actually get a lot of inspiration for.
And
colors.
because of it, if you knew in 2019 there was a lot of memes around it that the color is different from the color on cap. They who actually started giving us the like color, what we say,
Accurate color wheel or color
color
chart.
wheel. Yeah, color chart, the paper on which we use markers.
Mhm.
They actually started giving us with it. Before it,
Yeah.
Copics gave it, but as I remember, Ohuhu didn't give it on my first set of markers back then.
Yes,
And
actually,
now, can you tell us how did you drew the grass of it,
yeah.
of the Studio Ghibli?
Uh, the first layer was a light green, like the pale kind of green. I
Hmm.
simply laid a flat layer of green, and with a very dry flat brush, I kind of smudged it around the character to make a like first layer of grass. And after that, I took a little darker shade of green, and you just have to keep the brush as dry as possible with
Hmm.
minimal amount of water or something. Even you could even repeat this with acrylic marker colors or something, or poster colors. But this one
So,
was from
did
my
you drew the grass from? Did you use grass for with alcohol markers?
no, I used gouache colors.
Gosh, a gouge. Ah, yeah, that sounds shit like
Just
that.
like poster colors.
Oh, I have them.
A
Can we
little.
use can we use poster colors from it for it?
Yes, of course you can. Like, but most poster colors we have in India are kind of uh, uh, thin in consistency. So
True,
I don't
true.
know if it will
They
be
are like
opaque.
if we use on a less, even if we use on like a 320, I guess GSM paper, it will not like flow properly. It will
That's
have gaps on it.
well, to get results similar to gouache colors, you can use the closest thing would be acrylic colors. So gouache colors are like they're totally like acrylic colors. Just the difference being that acrylic colors are maybe oil based or something, or some synthetic kind of pigment, while gouache colors are water based. Otherwise, they're
So
similar in texture.
in this Ghibli Studio Ghibli illustration, did you use alcohol based markers?
Yeah, for the gray background sky and all, and for the main characters I use alcohol
Toroto.
mark.
The Toroto is also, yeah, and the color sense and shadow is very like to get inspired. The shadows you drew on it is very good.
Actually, drawing shadows isn't really hard. You just need to have the right color. Like, I do
But you
have
need
the
to have the color sense of it. You have to look at the image in the way and have to know the light source of it, where the sun is or where the moon is to give the shadow on it.
but actually that's required only when you are drawing some original character, because
Hmm.
here all of I simply copied it from the scene, so I didn't have to really worry about the light source. But yeah, if someone doesn't you know give proper importance, he would simply skip the shadows, or in the
As
while.
per this illustration, you might have seen my forest illustration, a black ghost and one light source coming on it. It's actually inspired by Lucifer. He drew it, which is inspired by another artist, Rapture,
Yeah, actually I saw both.
the forest one.